Welcome back to Bookish Dives. We've done a few of these now, looked at some pretty complex stuff, history, science. And for today's mission, we're diving into, well, one of the most powerful and honestly quite painful narratives in American literature, Alice Walker's The Color Purple. We're working from this fantastic set of notes one of you shared, so we're aiming to get past just the plot points and really dig into the resilience here, the liberation.
Exactly. This is a deep dive, really, into Celie's world. It's told through letters, very intimate, and she's facing, almost every kind of oppression you can imagine. Racism, poverty, horrific abuse, patriarchy, all in the early 20th century South.
Yeah.
So our goal today isn't just retelling the story, it's about uncovering how Celie finds her voice step by step, and how, crucially, female solidarity breaks down that isolation she lives with for so long.
Okay, let's get into it. Start right at the beginning, which is, it's devastating. Celie's early life, that silence. The book opens with her writing letters, but only to God. She's just 14.
Right. And these letters, they're not just diary entries, they feel like survival itself. She's being sexually abused by the man she calls Pa. It results in 2 children being taken from her almost immediately.
And she thinks Pa killed the first one, right? She says he killed it out there in the woods.
Yes, that's her belief. It just establishes this theme of utter objectification right away. The second child is sold. Her body is just violated constantly. And after her mother dies, Celie's basically conditioned to be invisible. She even says she feels like a piece of wood. Just numb.
That feeling, being like wood, like a non-person, it perfectly sets up that awful marriage transaction. Mr. comes asking for Nettie, her younger sister.
Yeah, Nettie's the one Pa actually wants him to marry.
But Pa offers Celie instead. It's purely a trade. He basically tells Mr. she's ugly, spoiled, twice, and her only value is that, well, she ain't no stranger to hard work.
It's brutal. The sources really hammer this point. She's damaged goods in their eyes. But Celie, she accepts it. Mostly to protect Nettie.
Because Nettie's educated, she's got spirit, she sees the danger with Mr. instantly.
Absolutely. So Celie sacrifices herself, tells Nettie right as she leaves, and the real tragedy builds because Nettie does right, but Celie never gets the letters. That silence just closes in around her. Total isolation.
Complete isolation. But it's right there, at that absolute low point, that things start to crack open. 2 women enter her life who just fundamentally change everything. Shug Avery and Sophia.
Polar opposites, really.
Totally. And both absolutely vital for Celie finding herself.
Definitely. Let's talk Shug Avery first, the queen honeybee. She's just everything Celie isn't. Glamorous, defiant, owns herself completely. Celie sees that picture of her first, the singer, the furs, the car. She's mesmerized.
Yeah, the total opposite of Celie's quiet suffering. And then, ironically, Shug gets sick. Really sick, and she ends up in Mr. Ray's house.
The house of the man who's still completely obsessed with her.
And it's Celie, the wife Shug, initially dismisses as ugly, who nurses her back to health. That's such a key moment, isn't it? Celie provides this deep care, physical and emotional.
It earns her this intimacy, this connection that no one else, certainly not Mr. Ide, has with Shug. And it's Shug who then transforms Celie's whole understanding of herself. Her body, her sexuality.
This is maybe the most profound insight from the sources, I think.
I agree. When they become lovers, Shug teaches Celie about pleasure. She tells her flat out, you're still a virgin in spirit because you've never known joy in sex. She even compares the abuse Celie suffered to Mr. Just going to the toilet on you.
Wow. That distinction, violation versus pleasure, it's everything. Shug isn't just showing her physical sensation. She's giving her the idea that her body belongs to her.
Exactly. It directly challenges that core violation she's lived with forever. It's the seed of self-ownership.
Okay, so that's Shug's intimate kind of liberation. Then you have Sophia. Totally different energy. Fierce physical resistance.
Oh, yeah. Sophia, who marries Harpo, Mr. Sun, she just refuses to be dominated. Full stop. When Harpo tries to make her obey, she fights him like 2 men.
She says it herself. All my life I had to fight. Her father, her brothers, it's just who she is. Pure strength.
But then, moving from Shug's private world to Sophia's public defiance, Celie makes a terrible mistake. Harpo asks her how to make Sophia mind.
And Celie, drawing on her own awful experience, tells him,
beat her! It's agonizing to read. You see how she's internalized the very system that oppresses her. Just for a moment, she becomes part of it.
But it does lead somewhere important, doesn't it? Their reconciliation later. After Sophia pays such a high price for her own resistance.
A brutal price. She hits the mayor for disrespecting her, ends up in jail, beaten terribly, and then forced into servitude as the mayor's maid for years.
And Celie eventually confesses her sin and giving that advice. Their bond forms, often while they're sewing, quilting, making something whole again.
It's a powerful image. But all this time, while Celie's forging these crucial connections, there's still that gaping hole. Nettie's silence, the lost years.
Until the big reveal. Shug and Celie find the letters.
Staggering, isn't it? Mr. Alon had hidden them all along, in his trunk, mixed in with, of all things, Shug's old underwear, maybe trying to somehow contain the power of both women.
Who knows his motives, but the effect is devastating. Suddenly years of Nettie's life flood in, and the revelations are just huge.
Huge. First, Nettie found refuge with Reverend Samuel and Corinne. And then the twist. They adopted Celie's 2 children, Olivia and Adam, the ones Paul took.
So her children are alive, and they've been raised in a loving home, relatively speaking.
Yes, and that leads straight into the second bombshell about their past. The man they called Pa, Alfonso. He wasn't their biological father.
He was their stepfather, an abusive one.
The real father was a successful black store owner, tragically lynched by jealous white merchants. So Celie and Nettie aren't descended from this cruel, pathetic man. Their father was an entrepreneur, murdered for his success. It reframes everything.
Everything. And Nettie's story doesn't stop there. It goes global. She becomes a missionary in Africa, in Olinka.
And her letters become this window into another culture. Rich details. The sacred roof leaf, the Olinka worship. Her surprise when she learns their word for white people basically means naked.
Naked.
Well, as Nettie explains it, it's about lacking cultural covering, being outside their way of life, their moral structure. It's this fascinating reversal who is truly unclothed or vulnerable in a cultural sense. It gives Celie a whole new perspective on her own situation back home.
And that perspective is crucial, because Nettie then witnesses colonialism firsthand, the destruction of the Olinka village.
Yeah, by an English rubber company. They destroy the sacred roof leaf, level the village, force people into barracks, all for rubber trees. It's global exploitation mirroring the personal exploitation Celie endured. The political and personal just merge completely.
So all this knowledge flowing back from Nettie, combined with Shug's presence, it fuels Celie's biggest shift, maybe, redefining God.
Absolutely. She starts by rejecting the traditional image, that big and old and tall and gray-bearded and white God. She's angry, feels betrayed, says if that God cared, the world would be a different place.
Which feels completely understandable given her life.
Totally. And Shug offers her a different way. God isn't some judgmental old man in the sky. God is everything and it. God is in nature, in joy, in connection, in sensation.
That's where the famous line comes in, isn't it, about the color purple?
Yes. Shug says, I think it pisses God off if you walk by the color purple in a field somewhere and don't notice it. It's about appreciating the beauty, the simple joys life offers, even amidst suffering. That is connecting with the divine.
It's a huge shift from dogma to this very personal, internal, almost pantheistic spirituality, finding God within herself and the world.
And that spiritual freedom seems to unlock her practical freedom, too. Economic independence comes next.
Right. She finds out about her inheritance, the house, the land, the store that belonged to her real father. It's hers and Nettie's.
And what does she do? She starts sewing. But not just mending, she starts a business, making pants. Comfortable, practical, stylish pants for women. And men, too. Folks pants, unlimited.
She literally stitches together a new future for herself. From being an object traded between men, she becomes a creator, an entrepreneur.
It's an amazing transformation. And while she's building this new life, you see Mr. Albert slowly changing too.
His path to atonement. It's not instant. Celie leaving breaks him down, leaves him lonely, kind of pathetic initially.
Very slow, very quiet. He eventually finds and sends Celie the last of Nettie's hidden letters. And he starts learning to sew himself, trying to make shirts that match her pants.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's this quiet gesture of respect, maybe understanding. His whole philosophy shifts. He stops trying to own and control. He starts to just wonder.
He says that line, I think us here to wonder myself, to wonder, to ask. Moving from certainty and violence to just questioning.
Exactly. It lets him and Celie find this unexpected peace. Not lovers, not master and servant, but friends. 2 old fools left over from love, as the book puts it.
It's not exactly forgiveness, maybe, but it's acceptance. Seeing his humanity without letting him off the hook or compromising her own hard-won independence.
Well put. And then after all the struggle, all the revelations, the ultimate joy, the reunion.
Family comes home. There was that scare, wasn't there? News that Nettie's ship sank.
Yes, because of the war. A different ship sank, creating confusion. But then they arrive. Nettie, Samuel, and Celie's grown children, Adam and Olivia, and Adam's wife, Tashi.
It must have been overwhelming. And Tashi, she has the facial scars, the Olinka ritual marks.
She does. And Adam, in this incredible act of solidarity and love and
Yeah.
rejecting, mainstream American beauty standards, he has copied her scars onto his own face.
Wow, that's powerful.
It really is. So you see Celie's journey from feeling like wood, completely shut down, powerless, to being fully alive, economically independent, spiritually grounded, and surrounded by this vibrant, unconventional family built on love and shared experience.
The sources really emphasize that her strength wasn't one big heroic moment. It was cumulative.
Exactly. The power came from those female bonds, Shug, Sophia, Nettie. It came from finding her own economic footing, and it came from radically redefining God and family for herself.
So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about after this is that ending detail. Tashi and Adam, his choice to share her scars.
Mm-hmm. They're consciously choosing an identity together. It's not just American, not just Olinka tradition imposed on them. It's theirs, defined by their bond, rejecting external pressures.
That conscious self-definition. Maybe that's the ultimate freedom in the whole story.
I think it might be. It's the final, powerful act of self-possession in a story full of people being possessed by others.
Well, if you're ready to tackle another book with us, definitely don't miss our next deep exploration. Make sure you follow Bookish Dive so you catch the next one. Thanks so much for listening.